Sam Darley here, and tonight I'm going to talk to you about the NFL playoff picture. It's starting to take shape. We're 2 weeks away from the season being over. I know for some teams like the Houston Texans, the season's thankfully almost over. Big games this week. None other than the tonight's wrap-up of Monday Night Football with the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A division rivalry game. Came down the last seconds. Tampa Bay missed a potential game-tying field goal, which would have sent the game into overtime. And yesterday's big debacle with the whole catch rule between New England and Pittsburgh. Excuse me. Pittsburgh with the game-winning touchdown that was reversed because of the catch rule. But that game really changed the outlook of the playoff picture. Right now, we've got the playoff matchups. You got the Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's got New England this week, and so excuse me. And then in the 4 or 5 matchup, you got the Chiefs and the Titans. The Chiefs will prime to do what they did against Houston, win a playoff game. That's at the AFC side. Still in the hunt, you got Baltimore. I'm looking at the picture right now. That's why I keep turning away. You got Baltimore and you got the Chargers. The Chargers blew that game against the Chiefs. That was just, their season, I don't know what the tiebreakers are. I'll have to look at their situation. But they're in a pickle just like the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders, excuse me, thanks to Derek Carr's boneheaded decision, decided to reach for the end zone instead of just getting out of bounds and giving himself and his team 2 other opportunities to win the game. That just killed the Raiders' postseason chances. I know they're still, they're 6-8. They have better shots in the division. I don't see Kansas City losing 2. I can kind of see the Chargers going 1-1, maybe 2-0-2. It's the Chargers, they choke, as they showed against the Kansas City Chiefs at Kansas City. I think Kansas City's regained their swagger from what they were early in the season. They play good defense. They're efficient on offense. They're athletic. They're very good. They're very well coached. I just don't see them losing 2 games. So I think the Raiders are done. I think we can safely say that. Same thing with the Dolphins. On the NFC side, the Falcons really, really put themselves in good position tonight, winning tonight's game. They're 9-5. They eliminated the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is now eliminated. It means Aaron Rodgers in the postseason. I think Aaron Rodgers should shut it down for the season. Coming off the collarbone injury, I didn't think he looked 100% against the Carolina Panthers. And, it's a big injury, and you don't want to affect your career long term because you're trying to save your season. Even though he said that he wasn't there to save their season, he really was. It's the only reason he came back. We'll see if he plays this week. I do think Green Bay will finish the season strong. They'll probably go 9-7 or 10-6. Dallas is another one of those teams that needs a lot of things to go their way other than winning out to make the playoffs. Excuse me. So there's a lot of things going. There's a lot of things there's a lot of variables inside of that, and that's the thing about the wild card is you talk about winning a certain number of games, but then you have to add in your tiebreakers, your division, your head-to-head, your conference record, your record in common games. You have to add in all those variables. When you talk about the wild card, which is why the best way to make it in the playoffs is through winning your division. I think the most dangerous team in each league, I'm going to go and say, I think the NFC is a bloodbath. I really do. I look at the playoff picture. I think the Rams are great. I think the Rams are very good. And a young quarterback and Jared Goff, and they got a strong defense and a great run game and a good head coach. The Eagles are obviously having a great season. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate before tearing his ACL. They're 12-2. They're the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is the Minnesota Vikings. Great story with Case Keenum. They are hosting the Super Bowl. They would be the first team ever to get to the Super Bowl when the city hosts it. I think that would be great for not only Case Keenum to show he could play in this league, and this is a great audition for him. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so get to the playoffs. You never know what can happen, right? with their defense and their run game, they got a lot of variables that really help them, that really make them go. I do think the Saints, the Falcons, the Panthers are all better teams and all better quarterbacks. I know the record, Minnesota's record is really good, but you got to take into a fact that Case Keenum is not playing like a quarterback. He's having a good season, but he's not. He's not Drew Brees. He's not Cam Newton. He's not Matt Ryan. He's not any of those guys who can take over a game. That you can put the game on his shoulders and win. But the team I think outside of New England and Pittsburgh that scares me the most is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know they're coming off a 3-13 season. When you've had so many top picks and you've been picking in the top 5 of the draft for the last 8 years, you just expected to be good. This is kind of what I expected for, eventually for the Cleveland Browns. Like you keep getting all these top picks. You keep getting all these picks. You keep being terrible. And eventually you gotta get people, some competent people to run your organization. And that's what Jacksonville did. They got Marone. They got Doug Marone as their coach. They got Tom Coughlin running the show in the front office. I think the Houston Texans banked on the AFC South staying weak forever. It isn't. It's going to be a strong division. Luck's going to come back next year. Who knows? Maybe his career is nearly over. But then you got Marcus Mariota. I mean, he's a good quarterback, and they got a good defense, and they got a good run game. They're a solid team. They're a team that maybe needs to think about a coaching change. Although they're a winning team, I don't think Mike Mularkey gets the best out of that roster. But Jacksonville's athletic, they're fast, they're strong, they got 2 quarterbacks who can shut the game down. They really match up well with New England. I know they haven't played an elite quarterback, they haven't faced Deshaun Watson, they haven't faced Tom Brady. They really put the hammer down on Big Ben early in the season, and they beat Russell Wilson in their house. So, I mean, other than Big Ben and Russell, they haven't done really much against elite quarterbacks. They haven't faced anything. They haven't faced any elite quarterbacks like Brady or Deshaun Watson. And I think that's going to be the key. Can they eliminate the Patriots' offense? Can they neutralize it? It's going to go through New England right now, but they still have a shot to get the top 2, to get one of those top 2 seeds, get a bye. I think it would be better for them to get a bye because they're so young, so inexperienced. They're a very good team. I mean, they're very dangerous. And I think when I'm looking at the NFL right now, and you look at all these teams that are in the playoffs, the one variable that stands out to me is they're all athletic, they're all fast on defense, they all have strong running games and strong defenses, and they all are getting good quarterback play. What it's going to come down to is it's all going to come down to which quarterback can make the play in the clutch moments, like you saw with Brady against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Can Case Keenum, if the Vikings need a touchdown to win the game, can he take them down the field and get that touchdown? Can Blake Bortles take Jacksonville down the field and get that touchdown or that field goal? So there's a lot of variables there. I think when I look at the picture, there's a lot of good teams this year. There's going to be a lot of good playoff football. I want to see Buffalo, from a fan's perspective, I want to see Buffalo get in because that fan base is so fiercely loyal. And they haven't tasted success in 15 years. But they have to beat New England. I mean, they control it. The beauty of the AFC is everyone controls their own destiny. The NFC, it's kind of like, this team needs this team needs that. So there could be some playoff droughts ending soon. So that'd be good for the league. It'd be great to see. And seeing how good Jacksonville is, and seeing just how bad some teams like the Texans, Giants. The teams are expected to do something. Even the Buccaneers that just played tonight, I expected them to be a good team, at least a playoff team. That just shows you how the NFL is. It's just sports is, and you can't predict it. You think sports is fixed, it's rigged. It's not. The NFL, the NBA is predictable. It really is, but that's because all the stars are on one team or 2 teams, so you kind of know what's going on. The NFL, Major League Baseball, and hockey, for the most part, all the sports except the NBA, you have no idea what's going to happen. It's a year-to-year sport. It's a year-to-year league. Teams are banged up. So I will say this. I thought that was a catch at the end. I know the rule. I know the whole process. That's just silly. A catch is a catch. we'll see what happens in the last 2 weeks of the season. But this is really going to start heating up, and these are all great matchups. We'll see who gets the top 2 seeds, and we'll see who gets into the playoffs. I do think Dallas is finished. Like I said, there's too many variables that have to go their way. They'll probably win out. They'll do their part, but I don't think they're what needs to happen. I don't think Carolina's losing 2, and I don't think the Saints are losing 2. And then certainly Falcons essentially are in the postseason unless, I don't know, Detroit doesn't have the tiebreaker with them. I mean, there's a lot of different variables going on for the Seahawks, Cowboys, and Lions. But we'll see what happens. Playoffs start January 6th, and it's going to be Christmas. It's going to be the playoff chase. Pressure's on. The playoff chase is hitting up. Houston, this little NBA news. Houston Rockets pushed their win streak to 14 tonight by beating the Utah Jazz. Keep going. They might win 22, but match their win streak from 08. We'll see what happens. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.